Hello once again, our most developed student. My name is Confident and welcome to our revision session for the grade 12 June exams, and this is for you that are preparing for your final exams. And if you want to know what to do for the final exams, this is the videos that I want you to watch. They will prepare you for your final exams, and trust me, it will make you ready to write that exam. And in this particular section, I'm looking at differential calculus, and that's what I'm going to be focusing on. And let's look at this topic straight away, and without wasting time. So these are different lessons that I've been doing, and I'm trying to cover all the topics that you will be facing in that final exam. So let's look at this one for differential calculus, and I'm focusing maybe firstly on first principles and the general calculus. Now it says differentiate from first principles, and then f prime x is equal to determine f prime x from first principles if f of x is equal to 3x squared. Now when you are to differentiate with that, remember you have to let me remind you of the formula to say f prime x is equal to lim h approaches 0, and then you've got f of x plus h minus f of x, and then it is over h. So this formula is given already in your formula sheet, but you need to apply it every time. So we'll be using it, I won't write it again, but we'll just be using this formula. So look at this first one, f of x is equal to 3x squared. So if I've got my f of x here is equal to 3x squared, you need to write this formula in bits. So how does this formula come about? Let me duplicate this formula because I want to keep on using it. Let's look at this. Let's put the original one on top. Now look at this. If I'm to use this formula, you need to know how to work about. So this is my step 1, which is already given 1, and then I go for my step 2, which I'm going to write as my step 2 here, and then after that you go for step 3. This will be step 3, which I will also do, and then we go to step 4. Let's start with this one for step 2. What does step 2 say? It says I must write f of x plus h, which is equal to 3. See, where there is x, this is what you do, you're substituting that. So where there is x, now you have got x squared, but don't forget that is your x plus h. This is the one that has been squared now. Are you with me? So it's more like this was x, now there was like a square, now this is like a square, but where there is x. All right, so with that, what you have, which is equal to 3. Please avoid the errors that most of you are making. I know you're trying to do a shortcut, but most of you do this. They take this, they say this, and they say this, then they say bracket x squared plus h squared. That's what they do. They forget the center, which is the 2hx there. They forget this one. So this will become wrong. It's better for you to identify and do the right thing and say to yourself, this square is the same as saying 3, and then I've got my x plus h, and then I've got my x plus h. It's better like this, which is 3. At least you know that I must expand here, which is x squared xh plus 2xh. H times h is h squared. You know the expansion, and then now you open that bracket for 3, which is what? 3x squared plus 3 times 2 is 6xh plus 3h squared. So that was number 2. Let's go for number 3. Now what happens in number 3? I said consider the whole box there, which is your what? Your f of x plus h minus f of x. I've seen that, which is now my f of x is that, which is now this one, 3x squared plus 6xh plus 3h squared. That's what I just got. Now minus what? Minus f of x, which is minus 3x squared. Are you with me? At that moment, that is why this always cancels out. So the first one and the last one, they always take out. And then what do you have? You have got 6. I wanted to factorize automatically. Factorize h here. You have got h. Just focus on h. And then you've got 6x plus 3h. Just factorize that. Then from there, you go to number 4. Number 4 now, you focus on everything here. That is your number 4. So let's do number 4. Number 4 says you have got your f of x plus h minus f of x, and then all over what? You divide by h, which is equal to f of x plus h. The top one is this one, which is h squared. h 6x plus 3h, and then you divide by h. See, that's why I was factorizing it, so that it simple goes off, which is 6x plus 3h. Then you're done. Then you write the whole formula, and then you say lim blah 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 blah, h approaches 0, and then you're going to say f prime x is equal to lim h approaches 0 of what? 6x plus 3h. Are you getting that? Which is equal to, when h approaches 0, it's 6x plus 3 of 0. See, the answer is 6x. Are you getting that? Now you need to do the quick derivative, when you differentiate quickly, like to find f prime here. If you can do f prime x here, f prime x using the rules of differentiation is 3, you drop 2, and then it's x, what? 2 minus 1, which is 6x. So the answer is correct. Are you doing that? Looking at that. Now next one is, that is 5 marks. Next one is says d over dx. Let me just take this thing off here. Alright, let me first take this thing off, because we will continue to look into this, but for now I don't want it. Let it go. Alright, so let's look at these and take this off like this. Let's look at the next one. It says here d over dx. Let me write this down. It's d over dx, and then what do I have? X cubed here minus x plus 3 over x squared. Look at this. You're supposed to differentiate, and how many marks did they give here? They gave 3 marks. It's not difficult, not complicated. You just have to know what to do. Look at this. D over dx, you have to simplify what is inside. You take it as is, d over dx. Now you need to know what is this. This sign means to the power 1 over 2. Right. So now if I put x cubed, see how it's like? And then it will be like 3 times half. This is like this. So you've got x to the power 3 over 2, because it was 3 times half. Then it's minus x. Now plus, you need to convert this thing, goes to the top. The x squared is 3, because you can't differentiate it at the bottom. You need to take it to the top, which is negative 2. Laws of exponents. Then you can apply calculus here to say equal to, apply the rules. Now when you drop this, that's when you apply the rules to say follow the rules, is 3 over 2 x, 3 over 2 minus 1, minus, when you differentiate x, you just get 1. Alright, plus 3, again you drop negative 2 x negative 2 minus 1. Alright, so in other words, if I say 3x, when you find d over dx of 3x, you just get that number 3, because x is to the power 1, so that's why here we just got 1. Okay, so we move on here to say equal to what, 3 over 2x. Now 3 over 2 minus 1, I think it's minus 1 over 3 there. Okay, 3 over 2 minus 1, I think it's 1 over 3. Okay, it's 1 over 2 actually. 3 over 2 minus 1 is 1 over 2. Okay, this is 1 over 2, and then minus 1 minus 3 times 2 is 6. X to the power negative 2 negative 1 is negative 3. If they don't say much, you can leave it like that, but sometimes they are specific to say leave your answer in set form. If they say leave your answer in set form, this is what you do. 3 over 2 there. Now, okay, now this one is not negative, so this is this in set form is 3 over 2 square root of x, that is square root minus 1 minus 6. In positive exponent, this is becoming x cubed. These are positive exponents and in set form, but it's not a must to do this. Better leave your answer like that to avoid errors. Okay, so that is that. That was the first question. Let's look. Okay, let me remove it again and look at another question. Alright, now look at the next question. It says here, given this 1 minus this, determine f prime x from first principles. So we're back again here. As I said, let me copy it, and I just don't want to keep writing this guy. There it is. First principles is always this. As I said, you do it in parts. This will be your 1, this will be your 2, then this here will be your 3, and then this here will be your number 4. I hope you see what I'm doing. Let's start with 1. 1 is f of x. So what is f of x? If it's y, you equate it to f of x. It's what? 1 minus 3x squared. Alright, number 2, we find f of x plus h, which is equal to 1 minus 3. Because of that square, we put like this. X plus h squared is better to automatically say x plus h. If you do that, you will avoid that thing of saying x squared plus h squared. You avoid an error there, which is 1 minus 3. Be careful of that 3. First open the bracket, which is x squared plus 2xh, because it's xh plus xh. Okay, and then after that plus h squared. Are you with me? Then it's 1, multiply there, minus 3x squared, and then minus 6xh, and then minus 3h squared. Are you with me? Then we go to number 3. Number 3 is what? You are subtracting the top. This minus this, 2 minus 1. So you write it as is f of x plus h minus f of x, which is equal to now f of x plus h is that one, which is 1 minus 3 squared minus 6xh minus 3h squared. Right, and then they are saying this. Okay, let's look at that. And this one, what I'm going to say, minus, look now, when I say minus f of x, put a bracket, very important, and f of x there it is, which is 1 minus 3x squared. Your f of x must cancel everything, eh? You must always know that this will go with some of these here. Alright, so you must always know. So now when you do that, let's open the bracket, which is 1 minus 3x squared minus 6xh minus 3h squared negative 1 plus 3x squared. See that? Now look what I mean when I'm saying it's cancelled. 1 and minus 1, 3x squared and that. Then you are going to get equal to, this is what is remaining, but factorize h outside, is minus 6x minus what? 3h. Saying that this one. Then you write the last one, number 4. Remember, it's the one that is the fraction now. So what you're gonna have is f of x plus h minus f of x over h equal to, then you've got h negative 6x minus 3h all over h. See, so because this is what we got for the top there, then after that, that's the reason why you're doing it, which is minus 6x minus 3h. Then write the final part to say f prime x is equal to lim h approaches 0 of what? Negative 6x, not negative, minus 3h. You see, which is equal to negative 6x minus 3, that h becomes 0. That's what it says there. The answer is negative 6x. They underline there. You can test it by doing a quick derivative there using the rules. If you use the rules here, you can see that f prime x here, f prime x is equal to 1 becomes 0 minus 3, you drop 2, x 2 minus 1 is 1, which is negative 6x. Alright, so that becomes correct. That's how you differentiate that thing. Alright, so as I keep on saying, it's a matter of you understanding everything there in terms of what you are doing there. Alright, so let's take this off our grid. Okay, take it off again. Alright, so let's look at the next one. The next one says, okay, we did from first principles 5 marks. Given this is equal to this, determine the gradient of the tangent to G drawn at x is equal to minus 2. Be careful now. When they ask you such a question, gradient, so they will ask you gradient to the tangent. You must know first, you must find the derivative. But first, what they've given you is a bit tricky. They gave you g of x is equal to x to the power 4 minus x over x. So when they talk of a tangent, you must know that tangent is equal to f prime x. Alright, just have that in mind. They say tangent, it's f prime x. But what you do, first you have to simplify this. They're trying to trick you here to say, what do you do from here? Remember, x affects that and x affects that. You need to further simplify that. Or, if you've got a problem here, factorize x outside. So you've got what? X to the power 4 minus 1 over x. See that? You factorized x out. Then this goes not to the power 4, actually to the power of 3 there. See that? X to the power of 3 minus 1 over x. Or, you could have said, as I was saying here, if you follow this method, it means x to the power of 4 over x minus x over x. It's up to you how you want to do it. Then the x here, therefore 3 will remain, x into x1. Then you've got x to the power of 3 minus 1. That is your g of x. Alright, whatever case, then from here, that's where you find g prime. Now if you say g prime x, what is it? Rules of calculus, you drop 3 there, and then it's x 3 minus 1. Minus 0, because that becomes a 0, which is 3x squared. That is the derivative. Now they say determine the gradient. This is the gradient. This is the gradient. That's your gradient here. But it's in terms of x. That's the general gradient. Remember, dy over dx is gradient. And then they're saying though, at x is equal to minus 2. So you come here and say when x is equal to negative 2, then you say g prime of negative 2 is equal to 3 minus 2 squared, and then you get the answer of 3 minus 2 squared, 4, which is equal to 12. You can check that with the calculator. Alright, then they give you how many marks? 4 marks. Next one. Alright, so that was that. Let me just clear a few things here for my space, like that. So let's look at the next one. Determine dy over dx if look at this, y is that. So 4 marks again. What am I given? You're given y is equal to cube root. Now, how do you write cube root? I told you if they give you that, it means bracket 1 over 3 as an exponent. So it also means when I'm given y there, it is equal to bracket 1 over 3, but it's x, you see, to the power 1. See that? Because there is a power 1 there. But I can just simplify this without doing much here. Let me not waste time. This is simple, x to the power 1 over 3, because there is nothing there. Plus, now 5, you take x squared to the top, it x to the power negative 2. You cannot differentiate things at the bottom, you must take it to the top. Then that's when you can say dy over dx is equal to drop 1 over 3. Remember, you take this, you drop it, then you subtract 1. So 1 over 3 minus 1 plus 5. You do the same thing here. You drop this, you multiply, subtract 1. So it's 5 times negative 2 x minus 2 minus 1. Alright, which is equal to 1 over 3 x to the power, this one, I think this will give you negative 2 over 3. Then minus 1. So there it is, negative 2 over 3. Please, as exponent, avoid writing like this. Some of you end up writing like this. X, you find this minus 2 over 3. But now, this is no longer an exponent. It's like you're saying x minus 2 over 3. Please be careful. This must be an exponent hanging on top there to show that it's an exponent. Then 5 times 2 is negative 10. X to the power negative 2, negative 1 is negative 3. If they didn't say any much, leave your answer like that. But if you want to get further with it, it's 1 over positive exponents is 3 x to the power of 2 over 3, see it's positive now, minus 10 over x to the power of 3. If you want to include sides, it's 1 over 3. Then you've got that cube root of x squared minus 10 over x to the power of 3, if you wanted to get further. But I'll say, trust me, that is done there. You don't have to go further. Are you with me? I hope this makes sense to you. Let's continue with this thing here. What do you have? The other one is this, also 4 marks. Look at this. They gave you, okay, this I like it. X is equal to square root of y plus 1 over x. This is linked to algebra. But remember, you are finding dy over dx. So y must be the subject always. You must have y is equal to. Alright, so which means if we are to do that, we can take this x to the other side. So you've got x minus 1 over x. Seeing that is equal to square root of what? Of y. I think from here, what can you do? It's up to you what you want to do here. You can square root both sides, or you can add, but let's simple square root both sides. Square root and square root. But remember, when you square root, you have got x minus 1 over x, and then you've got another x minus 1 over x. You see, is equal to y. That's what was making this 4 marks. X times x, it's x squared. Now it's x times x squared, x times this, so you have got minus x times 1 over x, and again minus 1 over x times x, see that, and then this is plus 1 over x squared, see that, which is equal to y. So I don't have to put an equal sign at the end there. So what do? You can say now x squared, this cancel to give you minus 1, which is minus 2, and then plus 1 over x squared here is equal to y. So you can rearrange this and say, therefore y is equal to x squared minus 2 plus, now don't leave it as a fraction, take it to the top. It becomes what? X to the power negative 2. Then at this stage you can do your dy over dx. See, this is equal to, drop the 2, x, 2, subtract 1. Okay? That's the rules. Drop the 2, subtract 1. Now if you see a number like that, it becomes 0. Plus, again here, you drop the negative 2, subtract 1, which is plus, but you see that this plus is not going to work. It's simple, minus 2, x minus 2 minus 1. Then you've got 2 x to the power 2 minus 1 minus 2 x to the power negative 3. This is final. You will get your full marks here like this. But if you want to continue, you've got 2x minus 2, because 2 is separate from that, then it becomes x cubed. It's up to you. Alright, but if you're not sure with your algebra, leave it like that. So that is that part, guys. That's how you solve this. Now, I think there is the last part before I end this lesson. There is some also. It says that I think this is a bit different. Determine f prime x from first principles if f of x is equal to that. 5 marks. Interesting. Now, I wanted to bring my formula, but let me cut the formula again. No harm. It says what? F prime x is equal to lim h approaches 0. Remember, it's f of x plus h. They give you this minus f of x over h. So as I said, this is your number 1 is already given. This becomes your number 2. Then this becomes your number 3. And the big one becomes your number 4. Then you follow that. Trust me, it's gonna work for you. So let's look at this. What question is this? It's f of x is minus 2x squared plus x. So we have here f of x is equal to negative 2x squared, and then what? Plus x. 2x squared plus x. Sometimes I always say to students, it's better to have an idea what is your answer here. Let's try this. My answer, if I do f prime x, the quick version, it will be drop the 2 is negative 2, drop the 2, x, 2 minus 1, plus x becomes 1, which is equal to what? Negative 4x plus 1. This is the answer. But remember, if you do it like this, there is no mark. So this is the quick answer. But now let's see if ever this will give us that. So what you do, let's take everything to this side and now work this thing out together. Now look at this. If I'm giving you, let's start from the first. Remember, you said already I have f of x. F of x, that's your number 1, is equal to minus 2x squared plus x. And then number 2 is what? F of x plus h. So be careful now. F of x plus h. Look what you do is equal to minus 2. Now this squared is the same as I'm going to square there. That's the first part, right? It's x plus h squared. But it's better for me to say, instead of saying squared, I put another one, x plus h, because there are 2 of them, so that I don't make an error. Plus x, you see, that plus x is plus, you see, x is that x plus h. Remember, if it was squared, I put a squared, but x is that still x plus h. That's your x plus h there. Then from there, it's a matter of opening there, minus 2, be careful there, you're opening up this bracket. Guys, it's simple doing this, and this is your FOIL method, okay? So you've got your x squared plus 2xh, it's always like that, plus h squared plus x plus h, you see, which is equal to, open that, negative 2, so negative 2x squared, and then minus 2 times 2 minus 4xh, and then minus 2h squared plus x plus h. So number 3, it involves you saying that fx plus h minus f of x. Check it well, check it out, it's this one. Number 3 is the blue one there. So I do the same thing here. I take this, which is equal to negative 2x squared minus what? Minus 4xh minus 2h squared plus h plus x plus h minus. Now remember, what is my f of x? Put a bracket here, so it's minus 2x squared plus x. Now just because I'm feeling lazy to redo this, I'm going to interchange. This negative will affect everything inside, so this will become, so it's like this. This negative will make this become positive and this one become negative. I think that. So I'm feeling lazy to do that, so I'm just going to interchange the signs here. So it will be plus 2x squared. Remember, I'm interchanging the signs. It was negative 2x squared, now positive x becomes negative x. See that? That's all that I'm doing. The aim here, everything will cancel out. Everything has to cancel out. Look at it. 2x squared minus 2x squared. Negative x plus x. That's the reason. Then from there, you need to factorize h. Look at it. The one you have, there is h there, there is h there, there is h. So automatically you factorize it out. It's always like that. Minus 4x here, minus 2 what? Minus 2h plus 1, because there is that h. Why am I doing that? So that I prepared for the next stage, number 4. And number 4, you see, it is everything there divided by h. So that's the one I say now. F of x plus h minus f of x over h, which is h, negative 4x minus 2h plus 1 over h. That's how it goes. See that? Then from there, which is equal to negative 4x plus 2h plus 1. Then that's when you say now f prime x is equal to lim h approaches 0 of that answer minus 4x. Did I forget something? No, minus 4x plus, it was minus, I don't know why now I'm putting a plus here. It was minus, this was minus, so it's still minus here. This is minus minus 2h approaches 0 plus 1. So I must be careful, not even if the answer is going to be correct, but which is minus 4x. This becomes 0 plus 1. See, minus 4x plus 1, where it is. There we did it, minus 4x plus 1. That's what we also got here, minus 4x plus 1. So that's how to do when you're solving these first principles kind of problems. Alright, so I'm doing this because I want to erase all of this out. Alright, so let's look at this. If I can take this off, look at this one. Now we're looking at, that was 5 marks, 3 marks. They want me to find dx of this. Look at this now. dx of negative 5x over square root of x minus x squared over 5. Look at this one. Also not complicated, just need to know your algebra a bit there. Be careful, it's your algebra. They are testing you, the algebra skills. Now, quick one, because I don't want to do much here. This is same as when you look at the bottom one here. Remember, it's x to the power half. Square root means to the power half. So this is same as square root of x is equal to x to the power 1 over 2. You agree with me? So it will be minus 5x times, if I take it to the top, that it will be x to the power negative 1 over 2. I think that this is 5 to the power 1, and then when you solve this, it's minus 5x to the power 1 minus 1 over 2. Laws of exponents, you add, which is minus 5x to the power 1 over 2. That's what they needed there. So you're going to say d of x, do this, minus 5x, just for the sake of your working, say dot x to the power negative 1 over 2 minus x squared over 5. Then you do this. Then from there, you continue. Okay, let me show that it's still fine like that. Then you continue, equal to d of x. So now we have your 1, which is negative 5. Now 1 minus 1 over 2. Okay, what am I doing now? This was the x part. It's my x. Remember, that's what I'm saying. 1 minus 1 over 2 minus x squared over 5, which is equal to d of x. And then you continue there. It will become what? Minus 5x to the power 1 over 2 minus x squared over 5. Then you apply now the rules. When you drop that d of x, that's when you say minus 5. Please don't do it in parts. Whenever you drop the d, that's when you do the whole calculus. Don't do one later and then after that you continue working on it and you're saying you're doing it. They will penalize you marks. When you apply calculus, apply it same time. So here, that's where you apply it. So I'm going to apply it here at this stage. What you do, you drop d of x. You drop it. Drop d of x so that you can apply it. So what is that? There is 1 over 2. You drop it. Remember, this goes down there. And then you say minus 1. Remember that. So let's do it. 1 over 2 x, 1 over 2 minus 1. Minus again, here we drop the 2, subtract 1. See that? But it's on top now. Minus 2 x, 2 minus 1 over 5. That's how you do this. And the answer becomes like that, which is minus 5 over 2 x to the power what? This is negative 1 over 2, this one. Alright, half minus 1 is negative 1 over 2 minus 2 over 5 minus 2x over 5. Then this becomes the answer. You don't have to do much. Leave it like that if you have done it. But if you want to continue to be minus 5 over 2x to the power half, which will be square root of x here, minus 2x over 5. If you want to continue, but that was not necessary. Are you with me? Okay, so that is that. You can leave it like that. Then next one, do you want to try it out? I think I've done enough for the day. You try it out. What do you think will be the answer here? 4 marks. It's worth it. There it is, your d over dx. There, d over your dx. They are saying x plus 2 over x. Then there is this. And then x minus 2 over x. Do you see that this is like a difference of 2 squares? Do you see this? Okay, let me do this. Do you see that this is more like a difference of 2 squares? But you must also remember, when you're dealing with difference of 2 squares, like this, if I say x minus y and x plus y, remember it's as good as multiplying the first and multiplying the last. So that is x squared minus y squared. Remember, so it's the same thing here. I'll take the first 2, multiply them, and the last 2, multiply them. Why am I saying difference of 2 squares? X, 2 over x, 2 over x. The only difference is plus and minus. So you multiply that, you multiply that. So what will be the answer? So it will be d over dx. and then you do this. Apologies guys for the background noise. You know, my boys, they're just awake, and I was just working this for you guys. So I've got 2 boys, lovely but a bit naughty, so apologies for that. But let's do this. It's x squared, and then minus 2 times 2 is 4 over x times x is x squared. See this? Then you again, it's not done. You must make it until the end. D over dx, it's x squared. Now minus 4, take this to the top, becomes what? X to the power negative 2. Then that's why they were making 4 marks. You applied. Don't apply dy over dx in parts. Apply it same time. Let's apply the rules there. This is 2x, 2 minus 1, minus 4. There is drop negative 2x, negative 2 minus 1. See? So you drop here, you subtract 1. You drop here, you subtract 1. That's what I was just doing there. When you have done that, you just simplify. Alright, so what is it? Which is 2x, 2 minus 1. Now negative 4, this is plus 8. Then it's x to the power negative what? 3. That becomes the answer. If you want to get rid of that negative, you can continue, but I told you this is done. But you can move on to say 2x plus, because this negative, to remove it, you introduce a bracket, you put it at the bottom here, x to the power 3, then the 8 will remain on top. So that is that. So guys, I wanted to give you this, and that was that for you guys as you prepare for your final exams. But this is not the end. In the next lesson, I want you to subscribe. That's why guys, if you're not subscribed, just do that now. Subscribe please. In the next lesson, I'm going to show you how to use calculus in solving of graphs, graph sketching, calculus and graph sketching. We have come to the end of our lesson. Thank you.